Hello everybody, VSW here, welcoming you all to the 11th episode of VSW's WWE Stars. Mr. YeeHaw, why are you here? Yeah, because I want to know who you're going to talk about next. And with that, you know what, VSW, I'm going to make you a deal. On my next Ride with Mr. YeeHaw episode, if you do not force me to talk about any WWE superstars, and if I do not see or hear any wrestlers, I will become a professional wrestling fan, finally. Deal? Deal. Well, alright then, VSW, the deal is on. No wrestlers, the entire episode of Ride with Mr. YeeHaw. I will finally become a professional wrestling fan, like you so badly want me to. So now, with that, I apologize for interrupting your 11th episode of VSW's WWE Stars, where you were talking about Chris Jericho, which explains why you were wearing my vest last week. But I'm going to accept your apology and live with it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go get something to eat. Goodbye, VSW. You may now resume the 11th episode. Goodbye. I apologize, everyone. But as I was saying before Mr. YeeHaw interrupted me, welcome to the 11th episode of VSW's WWE Stars. Today I'll be talking about one of the most entertaining and hilarious superstars to ever set foot in the WWE ring, in my opinion. Of course, I'm talking about Y2J Chris Jericho, the 9-time Intercontinental Champion, 1-time European Champion, 5-time Tag Team Champion, 1-time United States Champion, 1-time Hardcore Champion, the 4th Grand Slam Champion, 2-time Unified Tag Team Champion with The Big Show and Edge, the 2008 Superstar of the Year, 2009 Tag Team of the Year with The Big Show, and the first ever Undisputed Champion after defeating The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin at Vengeance in 2001. Now to start off, Chris Jericho is known for his Millennium Countdown, which was a part of his entrance. He enters the arena with one of my favorite WWE songs of all time, Break the Walls Down. He feuded with the late Chyna for the Intercontinental Championship. Even though he lost to Chyna, he managed to beat her at Armageddon to win his first Intercontinental Championship. However, the feud included a controversial decision during a rematch in which 2 separate referees declared them both winners, which made them co-champions, and meaning that they had to take turns defending the title, which Jericho lost to Kurt Angle. But he did win the European Championship by defeating the late Chris Benoit, who in turn pinned him to win the Intercontinental title. Chris Jericho was originally supposed to be in the main event of WrestleMania, but was taken out after Mick Foley, who was originally asked by writers to be in the match, took his place. He lost the title the next day to Eddie Guerrero, the late Eddie Guerrero, thank you Eddie, on Raw's War after Chyna turned heel to side with Eddie. On the 17th of April's episode of Raw is War, Jericho upset Triple H in the WWE Championship match. Referee Earl Hebner made a fast count, which Jericho pinned Triple H, causing Jericho to win the title. Hebner later reversed the decision due to pressure from Triple H, and WWE doesn't recognize Jericho's reign as champion. On the May 4th episode of SmackDown, he defeated Benoit to win his 3rd Intercontinental Championship, but lost it to Benoit 4 days later on Raw's War. His feud with Triple H ended at Fully Loaded when they competed in a last man standing match. Jericho lost the match to Triple H only by 1 second, despite the repeated assistance Triple H's wife, Stephanie, the current commissioner of Monday Night Raw, provided him in the match. At the King of the Ring, both Benoit and Jericho competed in a triple threat match for Austin's WWE title, in which Booker T, the five-time WCW champion, interfered as the catalyst for the invasion angle. Despite Booker T's interference, Stone Cold Steve Austin retained the title. On January 13th of 2003, Chris Jericho won an over-the-top rope challenge against Kane, RVD, and Batista to select his number for the Royal Rumble match. He chose Number 2, in order to start the match with Shawn Michaels, who had challenged him to prove Jericho's claims that he was better than the Heartbreak Kid. After Michaels' entrance, Chris Jericho entered as the second participant. Christian, in Jericho's attire, appeared while the real Jericho attacked Shawn from behind. He eliminated Michaels shortly afterward, but Michaels got his revenge later on in that match by causing Test to eliminate Y2J. Jericho spent most time of any other wrestler in the same Royal Rumble. Jericho simultaneously feuded with Test, Shawn Michaels, and the current one half of the Raw Tag Team titles and Hardy Boys, Jeff, or Brother Nero. Jericho and Michaels fought again at WrestleMania in one of the most critical, acclaimed matches in the WWE. In the end, Shawn Michaels got the win. Jericho, however, hit Michaels with a low blow after the match following an embrace. Fast forwarding, beginning in November of 2011, WWE aired Cryptic Vignettes, or however you say it, that promoted a wrestler's return on the January 2nd, 2012 episode of Raw. On his return, after hyping the crowd and relishing their cheers for a prolonged period, Jericho left without saying a word. After exhibiting similar odd behavior in the preceding 2 weeks, Chris Jericho finally spoke on the January 23rd episode of Raw, saying, "This Sunday at the Royal Rumble, it's going to be the end of the world as you know it." But in the Royal Rumble match, he was eliminated by Sheamus. On the January 30th episode of Raw, Chris Jericho began a feud with CM Punk, who was WWE Champion at the time, after attacking him during his match with Daniel Bryan. He explained his actions by claiming other wrestlers in WWE were imitating him and named CM Punk as the worst offender. At the Elimination Chamber event, Chris Jericho participated in a tire match, entering last and eliminating Dolph Ziggler and Kofi Kingston before being kicked out of the Elimination Chamber by Punk, which injured him and removed him from the match without even being eliminated. The following night on Raw, Chris Jericho won a 10-man battle royal, making him the #1 contender for CM Punk's WWE Championship at WrestleMania. In a bid to psychologically unsettle Punk, Jericho revealed that Punk's father was an alcoholic and Punk's sister was a drug addict, which led CM Punk to his straight-edge philosophy. Jericho vowed to make Punk turn to alcohol by winning Punk's title from him. At WrestleMania, a stipulation was added that if Punk got disqualified, he would have lost the WWE title. He unsuccessfully tried to have Punk get himself disqualified, and Punk was still able to win the match and retain the WWE title. Jericho continued his feud with CM Punk in the weeks that followed by attacking and dousing him with alcohol after his matches. At Extreme Rules, Chris Jericho failed again to capture the title from Punk in a Chicago street fight. Chris Jericho faced Randy Orton, Alberto Del Rio, who is now with Impact Wrestling, known as Alberto El Patron, and World Heavyweight Champion at the time, Sheamus, at Over the Limit, where Sheamus was able to retain the title. Now, I don't want to make this episode too long, and like I said, I'm not going to name every single moment in Chris Jericho's career. I'm just sharing my favorites with you. So, here are 10 honorable mentions. Chris Jericho being brave enough to team up with Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose to face the Wyatt family at Night of Champions. The List of Jericho, Y2AJ, his cool light jacket, his cool light vest, the stupid idiot catchphrase, slamming Shawn Michaels into the Jeritron in 2008, his match with Dean Ambrose in the first ever Asylum match, his catchphrase, "I am the best in the world at everything I do. Do you understand what I'm saying to you right now?" And 10, defeating The Undertaker on SmackDown. But now you know why I love Y2J Chris Jericho, who is also with Fozzy, the band, and will now give you all the gift, not of Jericho, but of VSW. Drink it in, man. Next week, I'll be talking about the cerebral assassin, the game, Triple H. He's another one of the superstars that had me interested in watching WWE, and you will know why I love him next week, where it will be time to play the game. Until then, I thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, share, and VSW punch that subscribe button. As always, God bless, and welcome to VSWville. Peace.